Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the finals of the ASUS ROG Summer 2015 Hearthstone Tournament. I am Monk. Savitz, as always, is here with me. And finally, for our final match, we have Gara. How are you doing, guys?
I'm doing great. A really nice crowd here. It's the finals of the Assembly 2015. I'm very excited. Those people went to 3 very, very tough days to get here where they are. I'm very excited for the upcoming best of 7 match.
Oh yeah, we started with 32 players and now we're down to 2. Both of these players definitely deserve their place in the finals, playing for that grand prize of $10,000 and 100 World Championship points. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, not only the money, but the World Championship points are so important to both players. Tom last year was at BlizzCon, and currently he is ranked 3 in terms of Hearthstone World Championship points in the Taiwan region. The only 2 players ahead of him are Spider Roger and Frozen Ice. If he wins 2nd place in this tournament, he'll advance to number 2 in Hearthstone World Championship points. But if he wins this tournament and gets 100 points, he'll advance all the way to the top to number 1.
And that's insane. And there's like only very little time left to collect points, so he would basically guarantee top 8 in the Taiwan region, so this really means a lot to him.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's only 1 ladder season left. There's quite a few more open tournaments, but there's only 1 or 2 big lands left. So this is exactly the final chance. Meanwhile, Powder, he has around like 40, 50 points, and if he wins this tournament with getting 100 points, he'll advance really high in the rankings as well.
Yeah, he'll go straight up to the top 8. I don't know, the 50 points for the 2nd place probably not gonna do it, but with the 100 points, definitely he'll be up there and competing. But I'm probably not guaranteed, but at least like having a very good chance at getting that top 8.
Yeah, not only is the points really important, of course, the money is always nice,
yeah,
right?
I mean, 10,000, wow.
10,000 for 1st place, 5,000 for 2nd place. Now we have a slight change of rules for the finals. Instead of best of 5, we're going to extend it all the way to a best of 7. Both players will, again, ban 1 deck, but each player will also have a revival. So, like, maybe if 1 deck is banned, like Warrior is a very common ban, for example. But if 1 player bans Warrior, then Hunter might be able to be played twice.
Yeah, if you're new to the revival thing, basically what that means is that one of the decks that you already won with, you can bring it back. So if you think that your Druid is amazing against everything that your opponent has, you can play it again and try to get the 2nd win, maybe easily or at least be a little bit favored going into the remaining matches.
Yeah, we're seeing the lineups right now. Powder, his Warrior is banned. His Warrior is actually a control Warrior, and it actually makes sense for Tom to ban that since he's bringing Rogue.
I like that the 2 most common strategies throughout the tournament are like in the finals, the Hunter ban strategy from Powder and the Warrior ban the Patron Warrior ban strategy from Tom, and that they face like one of each types that they face in the finals.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. The Powder specifically designed this anti-handlock strategy to beat Life Coach at the round of 8. And there has been no handlock to be found, but he's still here, and it's not only that, but he won his semi-final 3-0. So seems like that lineup is doing just fine against other stuff too.
Yeah, for sure.
The Malagos Warlock also from Powder is a really strange pick. I think he's like one of the only players to bring that deck to this tournament. Malagos Warlock did really well at the last big land at DreamHack, but ever since then, it's kind of like died down a bit in favor of the more popular Zoo and Handlock.
The strange thing about Malagos Lock, I talked to Mr. Yagut about it a lot because he's kind of known for playing Malagos Lock on ladder. He like reached rank 1 legend with it, and he said like the thing about Malagos Lock, it isn't favored against anything, but it isn't like too bad against anything. So it's kind of always alright. Like it's a very weird deck when you think about it.
Yeah, it sure is. I believe we're about ready to get into the first match.
Tom60229 versus Powder. It's very reminiscent of the DreamHack finals that just happened last month. Tom kind of representing Tiddler Celestial, both Asian players, and Powder kind of representing Dog, the foreigner player.
Yeah.
Is it about time, like, is Hearthstone going the way of other esports, where the Asian countries start dominating?
It's so funny because Reynard said that at some point that in esports it takes like 1.5 years around that the Asians take over the game. Like it happened like in Dota, in League of Legends and stuff like that. And around now it would be the time for Hearthstone. And as we can see, like Tiddler and all the Asian players are winning more tournaments, like Roger becoming more and more popular. It might actually happen.
All right, here we go. Game 1 of the best of 7 series.
So Patron Warrior against mid-range Druid. And you know, it's not just any Druid, but it's Powder Druid. What's so special about Powder Druid, you may ask? Powder Druid has either 1 or 2 Stranglethorn Tigers in it. Kind of like Stealth Druid.
And also that Mind Control deck. Double Shades. That is excellent against the Patron Warrior. He can coin out one of those on turn 2, he can play the second one on turn 3. If they grow just a little bit, like a couple of turns there before the whirlwinds happen, they're gonna be out of reach, and without the brawl in the Patrons, there's no real good way to deal with them.
And he just hovered over cards to symbolize his opponent that he has like options to coin out the wild growth or save it or use some innervates, what he just did.
But this is going to be a Shade into Shade for sure.
Just amazing. The best start you can have without Innervate, without Wild Growth.
Yeah.
Powder's in a pretty great position right now.
Yeah, he's gonna, even after the Shades, he's gonna be coming out so nicely with that Pilot the Shredder into a 5-drop.
I'm playing unusually fast at this moment.
Wow. Just going for the Warzone Commander.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
This is a very common strategy from good Patron players, because you just force your opponent, like you have to deal with the Warzone Commanders, and they want to like disrupt the curve from the Druid. Like he might have some innervate plays or some wild growth or whatever, and just to bait out refs that they don't have that available for later for the Patron turns, because usually you need like a spell power swipe or like double ref or ref plus swipe to clear the Patrons.
Yeah, seems like it's gonna be working out quite well. Getting the charge with that minion, and the Warzone Commander, it might still be there in a couple of turns. We'll see.
Both players putting quite a bit of pressure on each other, but neither is able to really interact too much with their opponent's side of the board.
Yeah, this is actually a full clear. It does require him to unstill both of his Shades, but I think he'll be just fine with that. On the other hand, both of those Shades would be down to 1 HP if he was to do it. And after that, he knows that there's a lot of whirlwind effects in the Warrior, so he might just play the Shredder, or maybe even Wrath the Warzone Commander.
He's like the main card you play around in the early game is Battle Rage, and now I think this is like the main concern he has right now, Battle Rage. Like, if he plays the Shredder, would he play too much into it? Like, the Warrior hasn't taken any damage yet, so he wouldn't draw too many cards.
Yeah, he doesn't want to risk the Battle Rage here.
And this looks like a fine board for him.
Yeah, but I mean, he's playing against Patron Warrior. Patron Warrior always runs 2 Whirlwinds, and actually both of those are in Tom's hand right now, and we are for sure gonna see at least one of them come down here.
Tom's hand looks pretty close to amazing. All he needs is 1 Grim Patron. Grim Patron plus Inner Rage plus Whirlwind on turn 6. One of the game-winning turns.
Oh, that's a nice minion to get. It's really sticky. I don't know. Like, is that really a good hand? It's like he has the spells, but he needs something a little bit more. He needs that Patron. If he doesn't draw the Patrons or the Battle Rage,
I think it's a very bad hand because there's so many dead top decks he could get. Like, if he draws Battle Rage now, it's basically a dead card. Or like, even if he gets an Emperor or something, like the value of that, he has no card draw. He really wanted to see more card draw in his hand.
It's one of those hands that has the potential to be a good hand.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Potential is there, but right now it doesn't do anything.
You know what? There's very interestingly, there's a Grom in his hand as well. Pretty much in the Western scene, Grom is completely extinct in Patron.
It used to be a thing. When Patrons first came out, it seemed like almost everybody was playing it. But then in these recent months, in this past few months, almost everybody ended up cutting it.
I think in this particular game, the Grom is actually hurting him, because when you cut Grom, you want to put cards like cycling cards, like Slam, like Shield Block, and he really needs those cards instead of just like this dead Grom in his hand.
But if you put Grom back into your Patron deck, it kind of changes the playstyle of the entire deck. For example, as we see here, he plays the Frothing just as a threat on board. But if you play the cycle version of Patron Warrior, like you basically have to hold every card in your hand, like even the Frothings, because you need the damage for the OTK. But when you have Grom, it just like allows you to play those minions as just minions on board, because you have the additional damage from Grom.
I believe throughout this round of 8 and the semifinals also, that Grom has been hidden. Tom's Warrior has been banned, so Powder does not know that it's in there, so he might end up playing the big game hunter before the Grom comes down, and that would really hurt him.
Powder could also be setting up a board in which he can use the big game hunter, Frothing Berserker as well. It's actually very possible that might happen.
Good.
Especially with the unstable gold being drawn, that's more likely than not, I'd say he will play that.
Yeah, that is so clunky. It's just... Oh. Feels so bad not drawing a single weapon here.
Yeah, kind of actually strange because I think most lists that have double unstable ghoul have a lot of cycle in their deck.
Oh yeah. I know. What's the cycle we've seen so far? We saw one Nomish Inventor, but that's like no slams to be found. Okay, well, that's 10 to face, and he has 12 more in his hand.
I was thinking if he could have dealt 12 somehow to set up this Grom, if he would have damaged the unstable ghoul as well, and if he would have hit face with the Taskmaster.
So much damage, and but where does he find that remaining few points of damage? I guess he could top deck a weapon. He needs to get a weapon. If he finds a weapon, Border is gonna be forced to heal, and like I mentioned earlier, Border does not have the knowledge that the Grom is in there, so he might end up drawing cards with the lore. How threatened does he feel at 15? Oh, there's the weapon.
You hit first with the weapon, so like just to hide the information that he has Grom, right?
He would be one off in that case because the druid can use the armor up to go up to 16, and then even with a 12 from the Grom and 3 from the weapon, he would be one off. So he's kind of forced to go face here.
Yeah, no, I mean attack with the weapon face, but not play the Grom, of course.
Oh yeah.
So now
He has to heal.
but does he know that? He's only dead to Grom plus Enabler, you know?
Yeah.
He has only 2 cards in his hand.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Just
plays
go
it
for the
safe.
heal. Yeah, and I mean, it's pretty threatening. You see that the warrior is going for face with the weapon instead of clearing the tiger. I mean, you can kind of figure it out. There's quite a bit of burst coming.
So that's it, right? He lost.
Yeah, I don't
He has the
really
Savage Draw in hand.
think
Is that
there's
enough?
a way for Tom to.
Powder nodding in agreement. He's like, yeah, I made a good play
Yeah.
last turn. I'm
Yeah.
proud of myself. Double Savage Roar.
Playing the double
Pretty good.
roar. Just with the keeper, he would have already had enough. So he didn't need that top deck in order to win that one.
Very nicely played by Powder. Taking a read of the situation, playing it safe. And he basically locked out the game entirely from Tom.
Yeah, such a weird hand from Tom there. Didn't work out this time.
Again, it just seemed like the Grom hurt him quite a bit. If he was able to switch that Grom out with a slam perhaps, or even a shield block, maybe he would have gotten the card draw eventually to maybe eventually even draw into a battle rage there.
Yeah, I think slams might be what he got for that, and maybe some other things too. So we didn't see slams. It's been getting more popular with those slams. At least to play one. In most lists there's also 2.
Yeah, quite strange choices from the remainders of the decks. We have Powder now with Hunter, and it's actually quite an interesting matchup. Hybrid Hunter versus Patron Warrior.
Oh yeah.
I would say, like, I think most people would say these are the 2 dominant decks in the format.
This is what you see on ladder if you play at Legend.
Yeah, we made a point yesterday. We had a row of computers in the lounge yesterday, and pretty much there were around 8 or so players laddering and just grinding ranks. And in all those computers, we saw Warrior versus Hunter, Hunter versus Warrior, Warrior versus Warrior. We saw one interesting Warrior versus Priest, but besides that,
Who plays Priest?
I know some guy on the European ladder.
So weird. I mean,
The funny thing is, it's even on all 3 regions. Like the top 10 legends on all 3 regions are Patron players or like Patron counter players. Like this matchup is like from the Hunter perspective so difficult to play because I feel like the Warrior is so favored.
Oh,
Animal Companion.
I think because it's a hybrid hunter, it's more favored than if it was a mid-range hunter. I feel like the mid-range hunter, the problem with that deck is it develops like good minions, but it's just sometimes the warrior can stabilize, and then the mid-range hunter doesn't have enough burst. Meanwhile, as the hybrid hunter, you have those Arcane Golems, of course you have kill commands, and you have wolf riders as well, just to finish off the game.
For example, he was kind of lucky with his Animal Companion.
Yeah,
Because if he would have gotten Huffer, that would be really bad.
Yeah, and also Misha would have just died to the weapon, and the unstable good would still be around.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, like the really main response on turn 4 to the Animal Companions is the Death Spite. And what Animal Companion you get is so important. Misha is like 4 damage to your face. Leok is 2 damage, but Huffer is usually 8 damage to the face.
That's such a huge difference. I believe that's also part of the reason why we've been seeing so many slams, because that's one of the cards that deals with the hover without taking that extra 4. With those 2 Gnomish inventors, he really wants to get one of them played right now, or they're gonna just stick to his hand until the end of the game. Wow, that's a great pickup there. Playing those armor smiths simultaneously with the whirlwind effects is gonna give him an insane amount of armor.
He's like nodding in agreement with his hand. Yeah, I like this hand, I think.
This is pretty good.
This looks like a similar deck to what Shio played in the Archon League with the Hymens and the Wolf Riders. Does he have Tigers in that as well?
Probably not. It's not a very common choice in Hybrid Hunter, but it's become much more popular. Powder, though, we saw Tigers in his Druid, so maybe you could put him on Tigers in Hunter as well.
Yeah, quite possible. He can only play the Leper Gnome. He figures that it's really likely that the Death Spite is gonna go off next turn. So that Leper Gnome would kinda only be 2 damage. But if he doesn't play it, is there a way that Tom can save the weapon maybe?
But it feels
Not
so
sure.
bad to just like sacrifice it.
It's true.
And he got like an additional damage with Knife Juggler in, just because he decided to not attack with the weapon. And if that's the case, then he can just get more hits in.
Can he wait here a little bit more, or is just do you maybe just take the armor? But this is an interesting turn. He needs to prepare for the Hymen. He knows that Tom plays 2, not just 1. That he knows that Powder plays Hymens. So when the Hunter is about to get to turn 6, you always, and you're playing against Hunter, you always have to take it into consideration. What if the Hymen is going to get played next turn? What is the play here that allows me to deal with it in most efficient way?
Doesn't look like he has a really good way. He can maybe set up the frothing, but then he can't deal with the 2/2s.
This is alright. He has one of the armor smiths is down now, and next turn he can play the other one and
Yeah, he's deciding to
try
play
to
the Acolyte
get
to
something there. Yeah,
get an Execute or something.
yeah. He needs an execute or battle rage. That would also be incredible.
Oh yeah.
Battle rage value right now for the warrior is is so much. It's effectively a sprint for 2 mana.
Yeah, and impossible for Powder to deny as well.
Yes. Okay, let's see what he draws. Inner Rage. Do you start with the Inner Rage on the Acolyte maybe? Seems like he's gonna just trigger that freezing first.
Just to be 100% sure what it is.
Yeah. Here we go. Going for the patron. Gets quite a bit of armor while doing it. Without the execute, there wasn't a good way to deal with the Hymen, so he chooses just to ignore it and make the strongest possible play for himself to improve his own board state instead of responding to the Hunters.
This is really the worst board for a Hunter player, because you have to deal with the Armor Smith. And he got so much armor already with it that you can't just go for face, so...
Everybody knows face is the place.
Yeah, smoke it up. Well played.
Audience going crazy over that face attack. So that's the Wolf Rider. Yeah, gotta deal with the Armor Smith. It's gonna... Like, going for face there with the Wolf Rider, it would have been 3 damage, but leaving the Armor Smith up, that would have been even more healing than that 3. But the good news for Tom is that he does have the second one, so he will be healing up quite a bit more. Oh yes.
Powder's reaction is exactly, oh, of course you had that.
Yeah, you know, this is like the card you want to see the least, like the Armor Smith.
Out of all the cards, absolutely.
Powder even gets his water.
Yeah, he's like thinking about the next game already. So what does he have left after this? Okay, the board is full, so there's not gonna be anything more getting played.
That's almost certainly lethal.
Yeah, I mean, how does Powder?
Yeah, he has to deal with both. He has to deal with the
Yeah.
Armor Smith and the frothing. It's just impossible.
So
And the
that's
patrons.
Yeah.
26
And a full
power.
front of face.
Yeah.
So you arcane golem into the frothing berserker.
Seems like a winning play.
Yeah. Congrats to Tom tying up the series 1-1, and we definitely have a series on our hands right now.
I'm curious how the old Buzzard Unleashed combo would work against Patron. It would be probably like an even matchup then.
Oh, you want to fight imbalance with imbalance.
You need a couple Hunter's Marks to deal with that board. For free.
A little bit of mind game is going in because both of these players now have the option to revive the decks that they already won with. So they might, like, if they expect their opponent to play something that that would be good against the remaining decks, they just might use the revive straight away to kind of take the opponent by surprise. But if he were to use the revive right now, then they won't have the option to revive something else later on.
Wait, do they have to wait till the series finishes and then revive? Because that's like in other tournaments the case. You have to first win with your free decks and then you can revive. Or can they revive at any point at the time?
I believe they can revive at any point.
Yeah, I think most tournaments have it where you can revive at any point. Tom switching it up to his own Hunter.
Oh yes, and Powder bringing out the Druid with those Tigers.
That actually makes it very difficult to pick. Because you never know when your opponent is going to revive a deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so right now, even though it's 1-1, it's like both players have all their decks available.
Yep.
I do think maybe like the strategy though is to wait until the end, see what your opponent has, and then pick a deck or pick the revive that's appropriate. Because if you commit too early and you lose that match, you're left with 3 decks. Meanwhile, you can, if you pick later on, you have maybe 2 of a deck that's guaranteed to be strong against your opponents.
I think it's just all mind games. Like if you predict that, for example, one game before that, if your opponent has one deck remaining without the revive, and you know that they're gonna pick it, then you just revive whatever beats it. So it's a bit of a guessing game. Wow.
It's always tougher.
But in this situation, actually, from Tom's point of view as a druid, it's not too bad because he does have the coin keeper.
Yeah, he had every answer though. Swipe, coin keeper, anything would have been okay.
Yeah, in this scenario, he does take that 4 damage, which he would not if it was a different animal companion. But he also develops 2/4 on the board. Alright. Still no innervates to be found. Oh, that's pretty good for Powder.
Curving out pretty excellent here.
Oh yeah, another Shredder. The Tiger, I guess, would have been a tiny bit better, but still.
Oh, interesting trade there.
Yeah.
It's fine. You keep the board clear.
It's just every little bit of damage on Face is so valuable. And Face has Taunt.
Well, the Druid of the Claw has taunt.
Okay, but whatever.
This is probably where he's gonna use his Owl and just smoke it up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Question is if he goes for the freezing or for the Mad Scientist and then hero power. You don't want to give him the taunt back, which you just silenced.
It's
Is
gonna
it-
be 7 mana though.
It's 7 mana, yes. Yeah, that's. But you're definitely considering.
Yeah, Savita, I guess you were right. Face does have taunt.
Yep, not the Druid of the Claw. What were you talking about?
Oh man, what
What
was
is
I talking?
cheating?
Okay, well, this is where the second swipe probably comes in. I mean, there's not really anything else. Checking for snakes first, being careful.
Or not?
Ooh, a beast.
Nice.
It's nice, right? If he gets like a kill command here.
Yep. Or Houndmaster.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah, that would be brutal. Alright,
So-
do you just suck and Golem here? I think you
No.
do. Yeah, just play your entire hand. It's not that big of a difference if the Druid has 7 or 8 mana.
It's actually no difference because he will most likely go for the 7 mana play anyway.
he has to. Yeah. What can he even do here?
I guess his best bet is some kind of taunt.
I don't know.
Ancient of War, perhaps?
Yeah. But that is not it, and I believe that's gonna be game right there.
And he can get this taunt back.
Because that, yeah,
But that's not enough.
that Druid of the Claw is not going to be killing any minions because of the freezing trap. He doesn't have another taunt. There's just no way.
What can he even draw at this point? The answer is nothing.
Yes. There we go. So Powder taking that one with his Hunter. Taking 2.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understood what that meant.
That's what
You
I'm
did?
talking about.
How can you understand that?
I speak fluent Finnish. so
Oh
yes.
yeah, sure you do. You learned quite
They
a bit.
basically said powder boys.
Powder boys. Yes, that's what
Okay.
they said, yeah. That's
Oh,
exactly
there's
what
only
they
one meaning to that, basically. Powder boys.
Powder boys.
Well, Powder, he needs some boys right now because he's in kind of a desperate situation. 1-2 right now. The Asian player, once again, in a big
No.
finals in Europe, has a lead over his
No,
opponent.
it's Powder with the lead.
Oh, Powder has the
Yeah,
lead.
Powder won the last game, so it's
By the way-
Powder's up 2-1.
Like, have you ever asked like what the 60229 stands for?
Yes, I have actually.
And
I
what
was,
does-
I, was, I was actually very curious about this, and I personally asked him. It's basically the zip code or like some kind of code of the elementary school that he grew up in or he went to, like as a kid.
Wow.
I thought like maybe his battle tag, but it's too long.
Yeah.
Like some Asian battle tag. I don't know.
I mean, there's quite a bit of Asian players, so who knows? But I mean, how do you know your battle tag when you're creating the account?
Yeah.
That's cheating. Just like taunts. Here we see the Rogue again.
Alright.
I always love it when we have Rogue in the competitive games. Because it's so easy to just drop the ball, prep the wrong spell at wrong time and lose the game because of it. But usually the players who bring it are the ones who know exactly what they're doing.
And again, Monk, man of all statistics. What is the statistic between like the opinions of pro players in this matchup specifically so biased?
Yeah, Gar, you're one of those players that thinks that Druid is favored, but
I think it's even.
You think it's even,
But
okay.
there's people that are like, oh my god, Rogue
Yeah.
is heavily favored.
pretty much all the players who main Rogue, Firebat, like Dog, even Hyped, they think that Rogue is favored, but in the actual stats, it actually says that Druid is pretty vastly favored with a percentage of 62%.
Wow.
That's like 2 to 1, basically.
Yeah.
So what's the play here? He could coin out the Shade. It's obviously better the earlier you get it out there. But he could also maybe just get a 5-drop out there. The Shredder is my least favorite play. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty sticky.
Well-
but it does die to like deadly poison.
Yeah, each play, I guess, is
Yeah.
vulnerable to different
Yeah,
things. This is
that's
vulnerable to deadly poison. Maybe the Drake is vulnerable to some kind of Viscerate play.
Oh yeah.
And whoa!
What is going on?
MLG tactics right there. Well played.
Yeah. Well, I know Nyria is in the audience right now. He's pretty experienced with these Lord Walker Cho plays.
Uh-huh.
There's no coin for him, but
I think that benefits the Rogue way more. I mean, because he has so many minions in his hand. Yeah, like this turn sucks.
Yeah.
give the Rook some wild growth. Come on, man, be fair.
Well, you might just have to give the Rogue a coin now.
You have to give him something.
You have to play a 5-drop, right? But man, here's a Violet Teacher on board. He has no swipe. Do you really want to give him a coin?
I don't know. That's so tricky.
Now we have ourselves a very nice match.
Yeah, this is getting interesting. How do you even do? I mean, without that Joe on the board, he would have like an okay turn in coining out one of the 5-drops, or maybe just brought Wild Growth, or so many things. There goes the coin to the Rogue. Rogue players always want the coin, and when this game started, he didn't have it, but I mean, I guess that'll do.
He could theoretically kill the Cho.
Does he want to?
Yeah,
I mean,
do you even want to?
he could just play like a Drake or whatever.
Like,
That's always the question. Like, who's like backing out first?
yeah, exactly. It's basically because the Cho has 0 attack.
Yeah.
The player with the Cho can't even kill it off. It's in the power of Powder, or in the power of Tom right now.
Oh wow, coin eviscerate going to the Druid. But the board position that he accomplished with this is so amazing. Like, it almost feels like the Druid will have to give that stuff back to the Rogue. What is going on?
And
I don't.
Powder looks so confused. He's like, did you really just give me the coin back with Eviscerate? Those are good cards.
Yeah. Okay, so. And then what?
Lothep is usually good here.
Uh-huh.
Blood tap on 5 is usually never wrong against Rogue. Oh man.
I mean, I guess you just do it. What can go wrong?
Famous last words of Eats.
So now with that kind of board, there, Tom60229 can kill the Joe if he wants to, quite easily.
Also like the way, like how fast Tom played this, looks like he's experienced with the situation facing a Joe as Rogue.
Does it happen that often?
I don't know. Like in very important matches in tournaments, I've seen way too many Joes from Shredders.
Yeah, it's no coincidence.
Well, Tom is one of the most experienced players in Hearthstone, playing every single open tournament that there is. So it wouldn't surprise me that he, over anyone else, has experienced this more often.
Still keeping the Joe up.
I mean, he knows already how difficult it is for Druid to remove this board, and without using spells, I mean, that's close to impossible.
Yeah,
like impossible,
Swipe
yeah.
in particular.
Powder does play an MC deck, but he hasn't drawn it. So that would have been maybe one of those swing cards that he needed, but just nowhere to be found right now.
Powder's facial expression is like, are you freaking kidding me? Oh man, that hurts.
Coin, like, just
Coin. He's thinking about coining Dr. Boom here.
I've never seen so many coins in one game.
Actually, the most coins I've seen in one game was in your game. Where you
Oh
used
yeah, the
Yeah,
Galvanix one. Oh, yeah.
Those aren't real coins, though.
No, those don't count. Going for the boom. If you're not sure what to play and you have the option to play boom, just go for it. It can do ridiculous things sometimes.
Afraid of the spell power more than the Violet teachers?
Yeah, seems so.
Time waits for no one.
Okay, taking it out.
Sap. I don't think you actually mind giving your opponent a sap too much.
Oh, I mean,
Because you get it back.
yeah.
You are, like, this seems to be a good Fan of Knives board, but you kind of don't want to give your opponent a Fan of Knives.
But
Yeah,
you
the
get it
fan of
back.
knives. Yeah. That's so weird. I mean, maybe he feels like, okay, we're done with Joe and just kills it first. Yeah. Rip Joe. Well, it was quite enjoyable while it lasted. Wait, what?
You gonna give him a fan?
I don't know if giving a fan was worth 1 damage on phase.
I have to agree with that. I mean, fan seems pretty good here.
Yeah, I think fan is quite alright.
He wants to increase also the chance of bombs hitting the new 1/1s. Then he had like one. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. No, it doesn't. It's the same. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. I don't know. Yeah. I was trying to figure out why he gave him a Fan of Knives. It's like, it seems like a bad card to give the opponent, especially with one Azure Drake left.
I mean, I could have understood it
Or
if
two Azure
he
Drakes.
could have like filled the hand or something, but no. So, because now with like something like the fan into Eviscerate, the Rot, he can clear most of this stuff, everything but one teacher actually.
Wait, did he want him to kill the 1/1s because he has oil in his hand? But that also
It's like
doesn't
a
make
bit-
sense, right? Because
Yeah.
he would spend on new 1/1s. I'm trying to figure out like a
What is
reasoning. I mean,
Yeah.
he has like there has to be. I mean, he decided to give him the fan, right?
Yeah.
Like one
Yeah.
damage phase was not the reason. I'm just trying to find why.
Maybe he felt like, okay, there's probably a swipe anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. Might have been a misplay.
Yeah, but Occam's Razor says it's probably a misplay there.
Yeah. Where does the
Let's
oil
see.
land? The
I mean-
teacher would be the dream, but it's only 1 out of 4.
Display,
this
boys.
time.
So what can you do here?
Not much. Top deck a swipe maybe? But is it even enough?
Well,
That should be it. I don't see a way out for Powder here.
No, it's over. He really needed swipes earlier.
I concede.
It's bad, man.
Oh, what a game! Like that's so.
And it feels like once again in this tournament, Lord Rocker Cho has decided a game. We saw in the last semifinals, Explosive Sheep dropped out of a shredder, and
Yeah,
that was
that
just
was
like
insane.
it was insane. It completely turned around the game.
Yeah, and both times it was in Tom's favor. He's been really praying to RNGesus before these matches.
Yeah, he's the piloted shredder whisperer, I would say.
Okay, could be. So
What to
now
say?
once again we are at a tight situation, 2-2 this time around. Both players still with the revive option.
Yeah, the revive actually makes the situation like really difficult. I think this is around the time when you start thinking about
Oh yeah, this is where
reviving
the
decks.
mind games kick in. Like, is the other player gonna save the revive, or because if you think that the other player will not use the revive just yet, then you know the class that they will be playing, and then you just revive your own deck that matches up the best against the one that your opponent has left.
So Tom has Druid and a revive, but that actually doesn't match up against. Oh, actually, the Warlock from Powder is the Malagos Warlock.
Yeah, it is.
I would have to guess that. I think that's like the weakest deck in his entire lineup. So maybe he doesn't want to revive that later on. And we're gonna see a Druid Mirror. I think Powder is the one to revive his Druid.
Yeah.
Or no, Powder.
Powder,
Powder actually. Did he revive his Druid before?
No.
he lost with his Druid last game, so
Yeah.
what did Powder win with?
No, Powder didn't like the Tom revive.
This is a bit confusing. Oh, I think
Yeah.
maybe the graphics were wrong.
Yeah, the
for,
graphics have to be wrong. I mean, yeah.
Has anybody won with the Druid?
Yeah, Druid doesn't seem to be doing well, at least in this finals.
Yeah.
But of course, Druid versus Druid, my favorite matchup in the entire game.
Your favorite Kappa?
Kappa.
Yeah. It's not many players really enjoy it that much, simply because how often it at least looks like it would come down to the draws instead of the moves that players are making. Looks like an easy shredder here. Then in next turn he has the option to just go with the Shade and the Wrath. It's so much nicer on the curve than the Shade would be here.
Now, even though this is a Druid mirror, I don't think it's exactly a mirror. Powder is known for choices like MC Tech and Stranglehorn Tiger. Meanwhile, Tom, he's probably playing a much more standard Druid, although I haven't seen Ancient of War from him yet.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting turn. A lot of options. Looks like he's going to Wrath that wants to get that.
Oh, we get so many like rare outcomes of the shredder.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But that might not be terrible. I mean, it turns into a Chillwin Yeti after he silences it.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
if Tom ever gets some combination of Keeper of the Grove plus Savage Roar, that could be lethal with this board.
That's just ridiculous. But yeah, could happen. It's not like you want to silence it bad, because there's usually something to silence even in your opponent's deck. But it's not bad. I mean, without the silence, it's completely useless. So it's like the Keeper is effectively 2/4 Battlecry summon a 4/5 with charge. That's pretty sweet. There's no way to keep it taunt or anything with these lists.
Yeah, we have to go all the way back to the days when there was Ancient Watcher plus Sun Fury Protector Druid.
Uh-oh. If he doesn't trade anything here, he knows that Powder might have the MC deck. I think he's making that trade maybe
Yeah.
a little bit because of the MC deck potential.
Oh, I definitely think so. This is another awkward turn, though.
He has some options. He could just Force of Nature into that to get that forward to face, or he could also Savage Roar and just trade the Shredder into the Druid of the Claw and get the Shade on the board.
I think you're slightly more likely to Force of Nature just because you have the Ancient of Lore already in your hand. You can refill your hand on turn 7, possibly get a second Force of Nature.
But also getting that Shade out right now, it seems quite good.
Yeah,
So
usually.
I don't know.
yeah.
Like it's not an easy decision.
And also, just generally, Savage Roar is the part of the combo that is harder to get out of your hand.
Another Raptor. I'm just waiting on the Keeper of the Crow at this point to bring that 4/5. Oh, whoa! And there we go.
You can go for the Azure Drake and next turn Shredder plus Keeper.
Yeah, it's still gonna be good later.
Oh, here's Dr. Swag.
This is more mana efficient. That's nice it would be to get that Ancient Watcher activated as fast as you can. This is so much better with the mana. Because if he went for the Keeper, he couldn't have done anything else.
Vibe looks like too good here.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pass it up.
But whoever like removes gives the opponent like always like the first to act.
That's
to develop
true,
a minion.
yeah, because you really wanna not only play the AoE, but you wanna play something, some minion of your own on the same turn. What if you just Druid of the Claw Taunt maybe and use the hero power on the Shade? How dangerous is it to leave a spell power up?
That might actually even be the best play. Because if he just swipes, he's so vulnerable to any minion that he plays.
Yeah, that's true.
Spell's Power Swipe doesn't actually match up that well against this board.
And the swipe is a little bit easier though to play later on too. Costs one less mana. Emperor Tourism.
Oh man, the Doctor.
Yeah, Druid of the Claw is pretty sweet here. But Dr. Boom has green borders. How do you say
Yeah.
no?
That should be like a tooltip for new players.
Yeah. Every time, like
Like if you have this card,
yeah,
and
it should
it's in
have the
your
yellow
hand-
borders like activated, like you know, when some kind of battle cry is available. Just like, dude, this card is available. It's like worth mentioning.
It's rarely a bad play.
Yeah, I mean, how can you go wrong with it? I mean, I guess it's pretty bad if your opponent has lethal after you play it, but that's like the only time.
If he swipes it, it can go horribly wrong for powder.
Oh yeah, the boom, but oh man, if they take out the Shade or something. The swipe doesn't feel that great, but on the other hand, like, what else can he do? It's so dangerous to leave those boom bots up. One roar has been played by Tom, so he doesn't have to be all that worried about the second one. But it's a tough turn.
Might kill the Azure Drake now. He tries to find a BGH.
Another wild.
Or MC Tech wouldn't even be too bad
Yeah.
for next turn.
Yeah, it would have been amazing.
Oh, he's even considering just trading both minions into Dr. Boom. I don't think that's quite a winning play.
Like,
But the other issue is because
go face with the Shade, I think.
yeah, because the boom bots might easily
Yeah.
just kill the Shade. You might be missing 4 damage here.
See?
Okay, pretty good.
Yeah. Only 1 damage on that.
That could be much
Okay.
worse.
Yeah.
If that would have hit for 4.
Keeper silence on the Watcher to trade. Maybe.
Also, like when you run an MC Tech, Watcher is a really good minion for you. Like
Yeah.
because you just leave it on board and later on it will give you value.
Yes.
But now it's really dangerous.
I think
Oh, is that correct?
Yeah.
Like he knows he runs MC Tech, right?
Yeah, he does.
and not only that, I think it might be premature to just throw the Sylvanas out there. The Emperor seems to be a little bit better, perhaps, because the Shade might just directly trade into the Sylvanas.
How crazy MC Tech would be on this board.
Pretty crazy. What can he really do here? The Doctor Boom, you can't really play it because then your Shade gets stolen. Should you just...
He's missing 1 mana
What
for...
yeah. Like all the plays seem a bit off. He could consider just trading the Shade for the Sylvanas and fight for the board. Because he does have more cards than his opponent. So maybe trade the Shade for the... it's a tough turn, that's for sure.
What if he trades and then Force of Nature hero powers to kill the Watcher? He's only left with a Keeper, 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Time waits for no
Like
one.
nothing is perfect. There's things that he can do, but nothing seems perfect.
With this play, he's going to do what?
He's gonna keep her the
Yeah, the
Dr.
Dr.
Boom.
Boom, I think so, yeah.
yeah,
Probably.
it's not perfect, but
Oh, wait, he's not killing... Nice.
Oh man, what if there's a Wrath from Tom now?
Yeah, I was like, is
How
that...
many has he played? I'm not sure. Did Tom play 2 Wraths? It's so hard to keep track of cards when both of the players are playing the same class.
Wow. It's dangerous.
Yep. Innervate Shredder.
16.
Take out the Keeper. Just hope that there's no combo.
Let none survive.
I mean, the MC deck was obviously not there, because it would have come down last turn if
Let
it was.
none survive.
Oh yeah.
With the roar in hand, this
14.
just set up the lethal.
It feels like this game is going to end very soon.
So if Powder draws Savage Draw, he wins.
Yeah, the game is over if he draws that.
That was his setup.
Tiger not gonna do it.
How many cards does he have left? Like that was his play to find second Savage Draw and win.
Yeah, Powder still has both remaining.
He probably has
I
around.
think Tom played one, but Powder has both. He's gonna be forced to do like Force of Nature here. Well, okay. So this is so awkward now with the 6/6 shade because Sylvanas might steal it. He needs to also kill his own shade. He goes for the clear.
It feels like with this play, not unsettling the shade last turn. It seems like Powder was trying to, or rather, Tom was. Wait, it's Powder right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
it has
Powder
to be
right
Powder
now.
because of the Tiger.
Yeah.
So the graphics are a tiny bit.
Yeah, Powder was trying to basically win the game with a Force of Nature Savage Roar here, but I felt like if he just went for like the board clear and the more stable play, he might be able to outvalue his opponent instead.
Maybe, yeah, because he did have more cards, but it's still a bit weird because when you go for the clear, the roar is no longer lethal, and your opponent is the one who gets to play their minions first. Oh man, going for the shredder. That should do it. That's 12 on board, yeah, even more than enough, but that's why it was not needed. Tom60229 taking a third mirror.
Tom60229 is almost available to repeat the performance of Tiddler Celestial, once again heralding the domination of the Asian countries in Hearthstone.
That's like pretty scary for the future. I mean, I'm not Asian. Am I never gonna win a tournament again?
So he's gonna revive a deck now, right?
Yeah. Which one will he go with?
The Druid seemed to do pretty well for him in the last game, though. But
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I think just in general, people rate Hunter
Yeah.
as like the best class out of all the remaining classes.
But he has
the
Patron as well.
situation is that Powder has a revive left and he has a Druid. So from Tom's perspective, I think it's like the smartest thing is just to pick the deck that does best against Druid because
But
he
Tom's
knows that
Hunter was banned.
Oh yeah, he has Patron.
Yeah.
He's gonna
So,
go for Patron most
for
likely.
Yeah,
sure.
almost
Yeah,
certainly
it's-
Patron.
Yeah, should be that. He's probably feeling confident playing that against the Druid.
Also, if like Powder decides to revive now, Patron should be fine against whatever.
But there's no real reason for Powder to revive right now because he's still gonna have to win with his Druid against whatever deck gets revived. So by playing the Druid first, he will get the information which one is the revived deck to revive more accordingly.
So it is.
And it's actually Druid from Powder that's been arrived. Right, Druid beat the Patron Warrior in the very first game.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now
Yeah.
we know both revive decks.
Yeah.
Oh, it was revived?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
still has to play the Maligos. Like I was still
okay.
waiting the
Yeah,
whole time for the
exactly.
Maligos Warlock.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
That's why it was so confusing.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing. So the Malagas, so Powder has the Druid and his Malagas Warlock.
This hand has the potential to be good, but
Yeah.
there is a keeper here.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny. Whenever you see Patron, you're like, this hand has the potential
Yeah.
to be good.
That's such a nice
We
hand
said
for
that
Powder.
exactly the last time we saw
Yeah.
Patron Warrior.
That time it didn't work out so well. But I'm really liking Powder's hand here. He can coin out the Tiger, follow it up with a low tap. How does the Warrior deal with those? The Tiger is gonna be going to face twice.
But do you immediately coin out the Tiger though?
I don't know, I mean Keeper on curve, that's pretty sweet too. That's pretty cool.
If he would have had an Inner Rage, he would have played it immediately. And he plays only one Taskmaster. Like the deck usually just runs one Taskmaster. So what else would he do to just get like a card draw?
Yeah, you could see
Why would he play the low tap first? What's the reasoning behind that?
Whirlwind. Stopping Whirlwind, right?
Okay.
Now he might know he has to silence these acolytes.
And that's like he will keep a one and kill off one with the.
Yeah, he kind of has to, otherwise the battle rage.
Oh,
he,
yeah,
he
yeah.
could kill
Oh,
both.
charge into one.
Yeah, he could kill both by charging into it. But is the silence?
Is that better?
I don't know, because the silence is not all that valuable. Oh,
Oh
man.
no! Oh no!
Oh man.
That's really bad.
Yeah, Tom is gonna be getting quite a bit of
Oh.
cards. He even has double. Well, he's gonna fill up his entire hand.
If he
And
draws
with the
Battle
sl-
Rage here, it could be like
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
amazing.
and even with the slam and the fire.
Oh!
Oh my god, this is over.
So-
He would- oh my god.
He has some first ball problems right now. How do I not draw too many cards? Like, that's just incredible. It doesn't even need the battle rate. You can just. Well, you probably want to save the whirlwind though. That's the last whirlwind, so yeah. It does allow him, or would allow him to deal with that low tech, but he can just trade one of the acolytes for it too.
Pretty dominating position here. Now Tom, he doesn't have that problem where he's run out of cards, and he won't have it for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, this is going so bad for Powder right now.
Just missing that Emperor.
Yeah, but I mean, if he plays the Tiger here, top decks the Force of Nature, that's it. He can
Yeah.
play the turn 7 combo. Actually turn 6 because he had the Wild Growth. Probably his best bet at this point. Even if he doesn't find the combo right now, he can dig for it next turn with the Ancient of Lore. No
But
way, that's good.
That's too late.
Already,
That's too late, man. You had your chance.
Yeah. That Tiger.
How different he would the game would have went if he would have went for the keeper play and
Yeah.
just save.
There would be about 5 or 6 fewer cards in Tom's hand right now.
Can he get even more?
Oh, what do you do here? So many options.
Missing an inner rage for an amazing
Yeah.
turn.
Or an Emperor for getting an amazing turn later. Like, even though he has so many cards, having something like 2 Patrons in his hand, it doesn't really count.
Yeah. Pressure, boys.
Both
Yeah.
players are going full on aggressive.
Yeah, Powder drawing for lethal here. He has 2 Forces of Nature in his deck. Can he get one of those? Not yet, but he will get another opportunity. He will actually get 3 more opportunities with that Ancient of Lore.
But leaving a Warsong alive,
Yeah, I mean, he might just lose the game straight away.
he has a full hand. And he has a Warsong already developed.
Yeah, he could just, like, Froth, Hero Power, Innermate Keeper, go face for 5. I think that at this point you kind of want to get that 5 in there. Tom is only gonna have 7 mana next turn, so there won't be too crazy combos happening since no Emperor has been played yet.
I think Powder is seriously considering saving his Innervate, since if he draws Force of Nature next turn and he doesn't have Innervate,
Time waits for
But does he
no
need it with those minions on the board? Maybe he can throw another Roar with 2 minions on the board if he innervates the hero, because it's so weird leaving that up. I don't know. Yeah, I like this. Still not too great, but it seems like the best one out of the bad options. Now with that second Roar, 7 power on the board. A Swipe would also do it. Druid of the Claw, that would also do it if there's no executes coming.
It's a big deal that
But Tom does have to execute.
that Tom hasn't gotten the Emperor. So it is not that scary yet.
Yeah, but I mean this is pretty bad.
Yeah, but this is, yeah. It's over next turn.
Yeah, even if he gets the Force of Nature now, he will only have 8 mana. He won't be able to do the combo.
Doesn't have an enabler for Gourmage.
Violet Edge Trader. Oh man.
Ah, this is such a bad situation because, oh god, I don't want to be in his shoes. Because he has to draw, but if he draws it, he's dead. He has to go face with the keeper. He really needs the damage because 15 life is like barely out of reach. So even if he finds the combo. But he has to deal with the board or he's dead. So everything he does here.
Yeah, I don't see a winning play here. Even if you take a big risk, there's no reward in any of these plays, really.
Well, here's the thing. There's only 11 damage on board, and you've already seen 1 Warsong Commander. So maybe Tom doesn't have like a charger to go along with it. Although we do know that he has Grom in his hand.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't hero power,
Well, that's
and
the inner, right?
if he doesn't go face in hero power face, just armoring up is out of reach, even if he fight, and that's like the only way he wins. He has to hero power. Like if he armors up and clears the board, he's at 15 life.
That is going to do it.
Oh, but he has to innovate. So
Yeah, I mean, just the Jet Spite is lethal already. He
Yeah,
has
it's
14
still-
power on the board. He did not
That
even
was-
need that.
Yeah, there was no way
What is he doing?
wins.
Oh, no, he has 11 power on the board.
No.
Oh, yeah,
One
oh,
of
yeah.
them- Oh, he just missed lethal.
Yeah.
That was... Oh, did he? Maybe he didn't. How much was that?
Take a look at
It
Twitch
was
chat.
14 plus 4. Yeah, he had it. He had it. He had lethal with the death spite. It was lethal.
Let's take a look at Twitch chat if that was lethal.
3
Yep.
3 power patrons and 1 5 power
was lethal.
patron. Yeah. Okay, Twitch chat knows. I mean, he's still gonna win. Not a big deal. But that's
I can see.
that is that.
Well,
We have our champion.
Tom is your ASUS ROG Summer 2015 champion. 2 times in a row, an Asian has won the championship. Asia is taking over.
Great performance. All the way from Taiwan, and it really paid off big time.
Tom, congrats. Your first big tournament win.
Really happy, yeah.
How did it feel, basically? Like, those patron games were pretty amazing overall. Like, he got like a pretty good opening start in that final game, but you just were able to take it with those amazing acolytes, whirlwind into battle rage even.
I'm pretty happy I can use the Patron Warrior because it's my first time for this tournament. Yeah, and I really confident with this deck. Yeah. So I choose to revive it. I think Patron just like if you have normal lucky, I think it just be any desk. Yeah.
Cool. I have to ask, was it all just BM? I mean, you had lethal 1 turn earlier. In the very last game, you had 14 power on the board. You had a death spite in your hand. You could have ended it 1 turn earlier. Did you notice that?
The very last turn.
Yeah.
Good lethal.
You
I
went
have
for
really
trade?
thought.
Yeah, you had lethal.
I didn't see it, yeah. So
Okay.
It's alright, it's alright. You won the
It's
tournament.
okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't feel too bad right now still.
Now, I have to ask you, Tiddler won the last big tournament in the West, and you won this tournament. Is Asia going to take over?
take what? Take
Like-
over.
Take over the Hearthstone World Championships. Take over the Hearthstone world.
No, I think I have really good luck today. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're ready for like the prize ceremony right now. So let's walk over to the trophy.
Okay.
Oh, second player first.
Second
Powder,
player
let's
first.
go.
Powder.
Well, Powder, congrats. You got second place, $5,000 and at least 50 World Championship points. How do you feel?
It feels a little bit bad right now, just losing, but I mean, I'm happy getting second place. I'll have to rewatch the final, see if I made any mistakes. I probably did, so. But I'm happy. I'm satisfied.
Yeah. There were like some pretty interesting games in that finals, especially with that Lord Walker Cho in the finals. Like, how did you feel about that? Did you feel that was like one of the worst drops you could have gotten?
When I first got it, I didn't think it was that bad, but when he dropped Violet Teacher into Violet Teacher, I mean, it's like the worst thing I ever could have gotten, so it kind of screwed me up.
It's alright. Well, at least you got into the finals and you represented your team pretty well. Powder, you got $5,000, 50 World Championship points. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tom, can you please come up? Tom, you also did pretty well. In fact, you probably did a little bit better than Powder, winning the entire tournament. Congrats to you, congrats to your team, and for your efforts, you win 1,000 Hearthstone World Championship points. You are now the highest ranked player in Taiwan.
1,000 points.
100.
All right, and you also win $10,000. Congratulations, Tom.
Thanks. Really, really happy. Yeah.
Come claim the prize.
Wow, what an amazing 3 days of games. We had 2 group stages, all so exciting games, and it all came down to this. Tom60229 from Taiwan, taking home the trophy.
Great event.
Amazing. Once again, congratulations to Tom, and I think that's all for ASUS ROG 2015 summer tournament. Thanks for everyone for watching, and see you next
Thanks
time.
everyone, and see you next time.